Alright, 1, 2, check. 1, 2, 1, 2, mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this thing on? Welcome to another installment of Ask Me Anything, where I answer burning questions found in the comment sections of my videos. Let's get right to it. What's your favorite North Carolina trail? I think I'd have to go with the Little Sugar Creek Greenway in Charlotte. Lots of variety. And it's pretty lengthy too. Check out my videos on that trail. Links will be in the description box below. Do you have a Cracker Barrel in Travelers Rest? Now, Travelers Rest is a suburb of Greenville. It's actually what I consider home. But this question reminds me of a funny joke I heard one time from a black comedian at a place called the Comedy Zone in downtown Greenville. He said, "I just came here from a Cracker Barrel. Y'all, there wasn't nothing but white people in that restaurant. It was a literal Cracker Barrel." I have to chuckle when you talk about Dragon Buffet in Charlotte and butter shrimp. Now Davis Donuts? What's up? Is this a new carb loading trend? Look, I never said this was a health food channel. What camera settings do you use? Thanks. Well, to be honest with you, when I get a new camera, such as the 360, I basically watch some of those videos on YouTube of people saying, here are the best settings to use for your 360 X4 camera. And I just do what they say. I am not very technical, so I tap into the collective wisdom and experience of YouTubers from around the world. Or I just put the camera in auto. Now, I know that's going to disappoint some of you because you like to hear about aperture and f-stops and color temperature and white balance. But look, ain't nobody got time for all that. How bikeable is downtown Asheville? I do not know. I did not try to bike it. Do you encounter many e-bikes? Yes, I do. And I can report that the number of e-bikes that I'm noticing seems to be climbing. Seems to be growing all the time, although there are reports that in some places they're trying to ban them. 2025 is such a wild place. We're legalizing drugs and banning bicycles. When did you grow a black mustache? I believe you're referring to this disguise that I purchased at the Rocket Fizz Soda Pop and Candy Shop in downtown Greenville, South Kakalaki. It's not my real hair. More burning questions will be answered in just a few moments, including questions about my love life. How dare you? But first, I love it when I get to meet various citizens of Joyful Trails Nation when I'm out and about on trails and such. Here are a few of these smiling faces that have said hello. If you ever run into me on a bike trail or even at the grocery store, be sure to say hi. You have my promise, you have my word that citizens of Joyful Trails Nation will never be deported. You can rest easy at night, my friends. I have a quick question. Is your bike an electric bike or a normal one? My main bike is a normal one. It's a Townies 7D men's stepover. But I have an e-bike as well, a Hyper E-Ride City. So I go both ways. I guess you could say I'm Bi-cyc-ual. Roll Tide from a fellow Bama fan in Anderson, South Carolina. I have not hit the Doodle Trail yet, but heard it's kind of hilly in places. Would you say it's easier to start in Pickens or Easley? RTR. A big RTR right back at you, Randy.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
I would start in Easley because the return trip from Pickens is mostly downhill. You do hit some uphill stretches no matter which way you go, but it's not terrible. Roll Tide, brother. Could you maybe do a video of your bicycle sometime? Just show us what you're riding. I noticed that it's not the typical touring bike, and I think that would be encouraging to some people to see how much they can enjoy this lifestyle on a more comfortable bike. Yeah, maybe I could do that sometime. It would probably end up being a YouTube short because I'm not very technical or mechanical, and so I wouldn't be very knowledgeable about the specs. But you're right about it being comfortable. I like that I get to ride sitting up, not all hunched over. And it has a comfortable seat to keep my seat comfortable. The front phone frame bag. Wow, say that 7 times real fast. The front phone frame bag where you put the dog horn. What is the name, brand, and where did you get it? It's made by Blackburn, and I think I got it from Walmart for 15 or 20 bucks. What is your favorite donut place? Wow, that's a tough one. I mean, there's OMG Donuts in Kentucky. There's McFarland Bake Shop in North Carolina. But I think I'm going to have to go with Spartanburg, South Carolina's Krispy Kreme donuts. The donuts at that particular Krispy Kreme are just better. They're bigger, fresher, with extra amounts of cream filling. Hey, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Do you have a dream bike? If so, what is it? No, I don't have a dream bike. Because, I mean, if I spent a lot of time thinking about another bike, the bikes that I already have would think I'm cheating on them. And I don't want that to happen. I may be a lot of things, but I'm not a cheater. I haven't noticed you using your e-bike. And when will you be planning a big trip on the e-bike? And when are you going to video the Cricket Frog and Silver Comet trails? Okay, I'll tackle the last part first. The Silver Comet in Georgia, if I'm not mistaken, is a Hall of Fame rail trail. And the Cricket Frog, also in Georgia, would definitely be a nominee for the best trail name of the year. So trust me, they're on my list. I'm just not sure exactly when I'm going to get to them. As for a big trip on the e-bike, the e-bike is kind of heavy. And right now, I'm a little concerned about taking it on a long trip using just my bike carrier on the back of my car. But I'm going to let you in on a little secret, and I guess I'm going to make some news right here in this video. You're hearing it first right now, but I am seriously considering getting a proper hitch-mounted platform-style bike carrier. And when I do, taking Tar Heel on longer road trips will be a no-brainer. Tar Heel is the nickname that we've affectionately assigned to the e-bike. More burning questions will be answered momentarily, and trust me, I've saved the juiciest gossip for last, so I'll be spilling all the tea, as my daughter would say. But you know how I usually, at some point in every video, I ask people to like and subscribe? Well, I'm going to do that now, okay? Here we go. Ready? Please like and subscribe. How did you get into videography? And what trail or trails that you have never ridden is at the top of your trail bucket list? Well, I had always been interested in TV and radio, even as a child, as a mere child. My plan was to attend Evangel College, as it was then known, in Springfield, Missouri, and major in broadcasting. I was never interested in things like roofing and bricklaying because, I just didn't feel called to those ministries for obvious reasons. I pretty much knew that I was never going to be a doctor or a lawyer. Didn't want to study that hard. Wasn't interested in those things either. I was never going to be an astronaut because, for one thing, I can't sing as well as Katy Perry. But TV and radio just seemed cool, you know? Well, it turns out that I was on the road with my family in full-time traveling ministry during the time I would have gone to college. Pretty sure my parents didn't have money for that sort of thing anyway. So when we settled in Greenville, South Carolina, my brother Tim and I got jobs at a local Christian TV station because our dad had a good relationship with the owner of the station, really. We worked for peanuts, basically, but learned a lot about video and audio. I went from there to the local cable TV company, then to a Christian television ministry in Spartanburg, South Carolina, Then I was on staff doing music and media at my dad's church for 9 years, before landing a gig shooting and editing video for the city government here in Greenville, South Carolina, some 17 and a half years ago. I've also done freelance camera work for decades. And I dabbled in radio for a total of 19 years, including hosting and producing a Christian rock show called Rock of Ages that aired on a secular or mainstream classic rock station. Did that for 15 years. So at the end of the day, even without the expensive college degree, I ended up doing the things that I wanted to do even as a kid. And every TV or radio job that I've ever had, I basically landed because of relationships. When people say it's not what you know, it's who you know, that's usually true. As for a bucket list of trails, I've got a ton. Are you kidding me? The New River in Virginia comes to mind, and if distance was not an issue, I would love to do the Katy in Missouri, the C&O and Gap trails from DC to Pittsburgh, a couple of trails in Idaho, one out in Tucson, Arizona, the Cowboy Trail in Nebraska, that famous one up in South Dakota. Oh, I've got a list all right. When are you going to retire and make bicycling videos full time? My husband and I enjoy your content. Well, Diane, I've still got some time left at the old 9 to 5. But I mean, if you and your husband wanted to take me on as a project, adopt me as sort of a foster cyclist, then I could go ahead and retire now. Like if y'all have a room over your garage or something like that, I could live there, just like Fonzie did on Happy Days.
I'm sorry, we're just gonna have to tell him it won't work.
Oh my goodness, he's moving in already.
Hey, Fonz, y'all unpacked?
Yeah, almost. I traveled late.
My question is, what trail is the best trail for scenery on an e-bike? We normally like to ride 20 or more miles. Well, Tina, the scenery from an e-bike is going to be the same as the scenery that you would see from a regular bike. Just make sure that the trail allows e-bikes. Most do. Let's see, of the ones I have been on, round trips of 20 miles or more, I would say the Virginia Creeper Trail in Southwest Virginia, the Chattahoochee Riverwalk down in Columbus, Georgia, and the Tennessee Riverwalk in Chattanooga. Those are 3 to get you started. They've got some length, variety, and natural beauty. How and why did biking become your thing? Do you remember when you were like, wow, I love this? Well, that's an interesting question. I mean, I always loved riding bikes, even from childhood. I grew up in small towns in Alabama, and our parents would just turn us loose on our bicycles, and we would literally ride all over town. Nobody had a cell phone. The freedom was exhilarating. Those days bring back a lot of good memories. We were just turned loose and were free to explore. I loved it. Now, fast forward to adult responsibilities and family and all of that. There was much less time and opportunity to ride, but I still enjoyed it. However, my true revival of interest in cycling and bike trails to the level of what I'm doing today came about as the result of a divorce. An unwanted divorce that rocked my world. And that's an understatement. Blended family issues.
Here's the story.
I guess sometimes blended families just don't blend, even after 23 years. Turn to your neighbor and say, the devil is a lie. Now turn to your other neighbor and say, and the Brady Bunch is too.
That this group must somehow form a family.
The Brady Bunch. That was my favorite show as a kid growing up. Friday nights on ABC. The Brady Bunch was a great show, but how many knows that blended family problems don't get solved in a 24-minute episode?
You do like Mike, don't you?
Sure we like him. A lot. You know how much we like him?
How much?
This much.
I'm sure we're all going to be very happy.
I mean, can you believe there's a woman alive walking around on this earth today that didn't want to be married to all this? The audacity. But seriously, the divorce was final in 2021, and a month later, our anniversary rolled around. So I was all up in my feelings, as the kids say. I was feeling some type of way. Buying a new bicycle was not on my radar for that day, not on my bingo card, but that's exactly what happened. I marched myself down to the Trek store and I bought my Townie. I bought myself what I called an anniversary present. A lot of guys, when they're having a midlife crisis, they go out and buy a Corvette. I didn't have quite that much cash on hand, so I bought the Townie instead. And that led directly to my renewed interest in cycling, which led to me exploring greenways, riverwalks, and rail trails. And eventually, it led to me creating these videos for this channel. So if you enjoy the channel, you might want to send my ex-wife a thank you card. Have you considered riding a recumbent trike for true touring and sightseeing pleasure? No, I have not. Aren't they really expensive? I've heard that those are very expensive. I'll have to save up for one. Unless Diane and her husband let me live over their garage. That would really help me cut back on some expenses. Also, I would need a flag to fly, a flag or two. The recumbent trikes, are those the bikes where you're sort of laying down on the trail and you have to fly a flag for safety purposes so that cars and whatnot will see you coming, right? So I'll need to get a Joyful Trails flag and an Alabama Crimson Tide flag, and I'll be good to go. We have time for just 3 more. Actually, that's a lie. We have time for as many as I'm willing to answer, because this is YouTube. But we're only going to answer 3 more. Have you thought about doing any bike touring or camping, if you're into that kind of stuff? I have. Not bike packing or bike touring, but car camping. That's where you pull up to a campground or an RV park and you have your tent with you there in your car. Pull it out, set it up, there you go. I've got a tent. I think it's a pretty decent one. I bought it way over a year ago. It was kind of an impulse buy, and I've never used it. Might be time to do that. Trade the comfort in for a KOA. Hey, it would be a start. You don't expect me just to slam directly into full-on bike packing all at once, do you? Got to ease into this camping thing. Does upstate South Carolina have too many people from New Jersey and New York? Ha! You're trying to get me in trouble, aren't you? I can't really complain about people moving here because I moved here from Alabama, but that was in 1983. Yes, lately a gazillion people have moved here. That's gazillion with a G, by the way. Have moved here to Greenville, South Carolina, and I've got a sneaking suspicion that a lot of them came here from blue states and brought their politics with them. It just feels like the culture of the place has shifted somewhat in recent years, in the past decade or so. There's been a change in the atmosphere. Greenville used to be reliably red, but now inside the city limits of Greenville, it was all blue in the 2024 election.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been, you know?
But Greenville County, where I live, still red. We still love God, the flag, baseball, and apple pie. Well, actually, I don't really care much for apple pie. Okay, just between you and me, did you start making YouTube videos to meet chicks? If I did, it's been an epic fail. I think I know why I don't meet many ladies out on the bike trails. It's because I have RBF, resting bike face. The Gen Z girls that I work with at my 9-to-5 job tell me that I look mad or unapproachable when I'm walking around downtown Greenville or just walking around the office. They tell me I have RBF, but when they say it, the B rhymes with witch. I mean, I don't mean to be giving off a don't approach me vibe, but it is true when I review the 360 footage sometimes and I turn the camera back around and look at me, I'm like, why do I look like I'm not having fun? Because I was totally having fun. I look like I'm like mad or not enjoying it. Sometimes I look like I've been sucking on a green persimmon or smelled a dirty diaper. There used to be a song that the Florida Boys Gospel Quartet did called If You're Happy, Notify Your Face. I need to work on that. As for the general overall topic of meeting chicks, listen, it's complicated. My baby mama and I have at various times talked about putting the band back together. If we do, you're all invited to the wedding. If we don't, maybe I'll hold open auditions for a Mrs. Joyful Trails. You know, come up with an application you can fill out. Must love cycling, donuts, and dad jokes.